back in those days, Liam, we didn't have two-ways in the trucks.
No,
No,
what?
No two-ways. Only in the machines, in the loaders and the dozers and all that. So someone must have told my boss, oh, Rayls has done a 360 on the ramp, you know?
Yeah.
And you better check her up. And anyway, I got to the cribber, still shaking like a leaf, got down. That was it, I started bawling. And my boss walked up to me and he says, what's the matter, Rayls?
Welcome to the Beers with a Miner podcast, episode number 27. My name is Mad Mumsy. People ask me all the time, how does a little thing like you drive those big trucks? You must be rich. How do I get a job doing that? This is what started my journey to share what it's really like and why not everyone is cut out to be a miner. But why not? What does it take to thrive and survive in this industry? This week is a happy hour episode and I'm chatting with Rayls, a lady I met very early on in my mining career. Now, let's dig in. Get it? Dig. Mining.
You're right.
Oh, crack me up. Welcome to the podcast, my friend.
Hey, Leanne, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. When I started mining, Rayls was kind of like I am now, part of the furniture and the mum of the crew. She left quite a few years ago and we went our separate ways, as you do. It's the nature of mining. We're still good mates, though, and catch up when we can, especially now that she lives in my area. I love randomly seeing her at our local pub. Makes me want to stay for, I'll just have one more. Rayls is here. And every time we meet, we say, oh, I really want to interview you, Rayls. You'd be awesome for the podcast. Yeah, we'll make it happen. And here we are finally today. Yes. We've done it. So we're going to share, I'm sure there'll be some golden nuggets and everything. And I realised as I was preparing for the interview, not that I prepared too much, but that I don't know that much about your mining career, only that you used to drive a truck and you ended up in the drills and you were there when I started. So perhaps we can start with how you got into mining.
Okay, that was a bloody long time ago.
How long was it?
I was 23, so that was 30-odd years ago. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, 30 years ago, and I was working in a bar over in Western Australia, and all the male members in my family were all truckies, you know, and I always wanted to be a truckie.
In truckies in the mines? Or?
No, they were on this long distance truck driving, but that's something that I always wanted to do, and my brother was going to be the one that carried on the family name, but he was born deaf, and he couldn't do any of that sort of shit, so, yeah. Anyway, I was working in this bar and this fella come in and he had a broken arm. And I said to him, oh, how did you get that? Oh, I did it at work. I said, oh, you must have a bloody dangerous job. And he says, oh, I'm a truckie. I said, oh, I'd love to do it, you know. And he put me onto the right people and that's it. I got in there straight away.
And that's how you got in?
Yeah.
It's kind of how it went back in the day then, didn't it?
Yeah.
Big changes.
Yeah.
And how long were you in it for? How long were you mining?
I was mining first up for 5 years, and then I fell pregnant. So
that deep breath sounds like that wasn't expected.
It wasn't. No.
Okay.
It wasn't planned.
Yeah,
but
it wasn't part of the career path.
No, that didn't really fit into. Like I couldn't really put the baby in the passenger seat in those big trucks back then.
She wouldn't have been inducted.
No. So, anyway, I did the 5 years and I ended up only getting out of the industry for 6 months and then I went straight back in and I had a friend that used to work up there and she looked after Kira while I went back to work.
Oh, right. So, and then you stayed in it?
Then it was full on.
Yeah.
Full on. Yeah. For the rest until 3 years ago. I left 3 years ago to have a back operation.
Yeah.
So
that's not a nice reason to leave.
No. But that's my own fault, really.
Why?
Because of back in the early days, you used to go like a cut snake, you know, and it was none of these safety measures that there is nowadays, but it was always a race to the digger to see who would win first, you know, get there first. And honestly, Leanne, I remember this time I was in a Terex 3311, which is a really old truck, and there was a new fella in a Cat 777B. We were going under a loader, 992 loader. He was taking forever, you know, like he was driving over there like a half a mile to back up under the loader, So what I did while he was out there, I backed up under the loader while he was still trying to look where he was going.
So I hope he saw you.
He did in the end. But that's what it was like back in those days, It was a race to see who could get how many loads each day.
Yeah.
So.
And up on the dump, what used to happen up on the dump when you were racing?
Yeah, that was the same thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I've done that a few times.
Up on the dump was a big thing back in those days, was how many loads you could get over in your one spot. Yeah, we all had our one little spot.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, so that was Rayls' spot.
And I think my time I got 17 loads over in the one spot. So
I guess too, it depends how high the dump is.
Yeah.
Because if you're only doing a 3 metre run or something, but if it's pretty high, wow, that's cool. And you'd be going, I'm going to win. Yeah. So you were kind of all challenging each other. Yeah. But that made it productive. Yeah. It was getting moved.
Yeah. And there was never any accidents.
That was my next question.
Well,
what?
Nothing. No accidents. Because people were happy. They weren't so worried, that they were doing the wrong thing.
Mm.
So, and that's what I think it is nowadays. You got to be careful what you're doing, because otherwise you get in the shed.
Yeah, and who's watching?
Yeah.
And who's out and about. Did the big bosses used to come out?
Oh, yeah.
Very often?
Yep. They were always there. But they were our friends back then,
Ah, right, yeah.
They weren't bosses, they were our friends. It was all part and parcel of being in the mine.
Yeah. So. And I guess you still had to look after each other as well, like family. Was it like...
It was like family.
It was like family?
Yeah, yep.
Mm.
I remember one time, in this first job that I was in the mines in WA, I got really sick with tonsillitis, and the big mine manager came. I was in a donga, single donga. The big mine manager came and knocked on my door to see how I was.
Oh,
Could you imagine that happening nowadays?
Not even. He wouldn't even know where the camp is, probably.
That's right.
Wow. Well, sadly, people have been found dead in their dongas over the last few years. Yep. Suicide. Yep. They didn't even know they weren't there.
No, that's right.
Just thought they were blowing a shift.
Yeah.
I've been in camp for 3 days, Crook. No one come to look at me. No, not even a crew member.
No. So it's pretty sad.
Yeah, times change.
Yeah.
So were there many women out there?
There was a lot of women, actually.
Really?
Yep, they trusted us more than what they did with the fellas. They reckon we looked after the gear a lot better. And
I've heard that a lot.
Yeah. Didn't go like a cut snake like most of the boys, but I could tell you what, I could give some of them a run for their money back then.
Just ask the guy whose grass you cut getting under the loader.
Yes, that's it.
What did the loader driver do when that happened?
Oh, they laughed. They laughed.
Just laughed. Did it make him turn quicker in the future?
Yeah, I think I did. Mm. Because when I first started, I knew nothing about trucks, and this fella, he was in a loader, and the young fella that was training me up, he was having a bit of difficulty with me, because I'd only ever driven a bloody Morris Minor or some bloody thing.
Which is a car.
And this fella got out of this loader, and he said to me, waved me over, to the railing sort of thing. He got out and he says, "Oh, hi, my name's P-." And he says, "I'm just going to let you know, I'm going to give you 3 chances. If you don't get it right, you can fuck off to another pit." And that was my introduction to mining. And I thought, holy shit. So I better get this right. But that was my introduction, and that's how they were.
That's how
but then they ended up being your best friends. So
exactly. Yeah. Some of my harshest, I've spoken about this before on the podcast, but the meanest dozer driver when I was green, and they end up being good mates. Yeah. And pissed off when I did leave, because after all the work they put into getting me to get it right, I pissed off on them. What do you mean you're leaving? I'm not talking. And he was serious too. Oh, jeez. Yeah, so did you end up going into training yourself?
I did. I did eventually. That was my first job. I was a trainer assessor there. Yeah. Well, they never really called it a trainer assessor back then. It was, what were we? It's been that long.
Instructor?
Instructor.
I was an instructor.
An instructor.
And then when they changed it to trainer assessor, you had to go and do your S1, 2 and 3.
Yeah.
And I was over it by then. I just wanted to drive around by myself.
That's it.
And so, that's it.
Yeah.
I got the sack from being an instructor.
Oh, sure.
I can have someone can jump in with anyone, just go for a lap.
Yeah.
They chucked someone in with me last week, you know.
Yeah.
But I'm not an official trainer anymore.
Yeah.
No.
And you don't want to do that again.
No.
No.
I just want to talk about mine. And
Yeah, that's it, yeah. It's a lot of responsibility.
It is, but I didn't want to do it at first, but we had a lot of people come through.
And you want to see them do it the right way.
Well, that's right, but they didn't have anyone to train them. They said, who do you think's going to train all these people? You lot have to do it.
Yeah.
And so once I decided that, and I remember one guy who happens to be a driller, stinking driller, gave me
Stinking driller.
We'll talk about that in a minute. He said to me, look, if you're a trainer, it doesn't mean you own them for life.
Yeah.
It means when you sign them off,
Yeah.
and it even says in there, at the time of assessment, I deem them as competent
Yes.
to go on their own.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that they're going to stay competent and listen to every single thing you ever told them for the next 20 years. They're not going to go back that far.
No.
So if they mess up, but you've taught them the right way and they've signed off all the bits of paper, which is, let's face it, the huge thing, you're not going to get in trouble if they mess up after you train them. And once he said that to me, it kind of was a real aha moment.
Yeah.
But it's common, of course you don't. But I hadn't thought about it like that.
Well, that's what always scared me was being a trainer assessor. If it went to court and you had forgot to tell them something or show them something, and that came up in court, then you could be liable. You know, I had a trainer assessor tell me that, and I used to worry about doing it, but because half the time when you do train these people, that all they do when you get out of the truck is go their own way anyway.
Yeah.
Do what they want to do,
That's right. They'll create their own bad habits
yeah,
and then become a trainer and teach other people how to do it.
Bad habits.
Or not necessarily. Yeah, so did you ever get sick of having people with you and saying the same thing over and over? No? Why not?
As I said, because I wanted people to drive the right way. I wanted them. I was on the same circuit as them, so I wanted to be safe. So it never ever worried me. I was pretty patient with a lot of these people. I've heard horror stories and where people have told me that someone has grabbed a steering wheel because they weren't doing the right thing, and grabbing the brake. And
I've heard that too.
And that's wrong, I don't like that. You just got to be patient. If something happens, well then you're up shitter's creek.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Did you prefer to train men or women or young people, old people, or it didn't really?
No, wasn't really fussed actually. I found initially in the beginning, men didn't really like being told to do something by women.
Mm-hmm.
So, but then I just became one of the boys, and I think once they realised that I was one of the boys, then it was fine. They'd always come back and ask me, Rayls, what do you think I should do about this? What do you think I should do about that? Is this the way that's done? So,
Yeah.
It worked out
and
right.
As they're on crew, they also see not only you one of the boys, but that you know what you're doing and you're experienced.
Yeah.
That would have to have a lot to do with it as well, I think.
Yeah.
I found the hardest ones to train were people that were already experienced, and they would just had to do a couple of laps in a truck really to get passed out because they already know how to do it.
Yeah.
I had some come in with me. I'm like, shit, you know more about this truck than I do.
Yeah.
Especially when we got new trucks and everyone was still learning them, and I had to pass people out on them. This guy had been driving them for years.
Yeah.
I said, that's not how you do it. Oh, really? Well, thanks. I'll pass that on. The fitters don't even know that one because it didn't come with the manual. Oh, dear. And you've made a lot of friends over the years in mining?
Heaps of friends, and friends that you'll never ever forget, and they never forget you, or you'll never forget them. So that's
it
good.
can be years, can't it? And you haven't seen someone, and then you sit down and you remember this one, that one, and try to remember their names and where'd everyone end up.
Yeah, I know. And when a lot of the older people, like there was this one fella. He was in his 60s when I first started, and I remember him training me in a little truck as well, a little 777, and he was going like the clappers down this really long ramp and really fast, and he was scaring me, and
Were you in the
I was
truck?
in the truck. I was in the dicky seat. And he said to me when we got to the bottom of the ramp, he said, "Now, did you enjoy that?" I said, "No, I didn't." And I'm nearly bawling.
Yeah.
And he said, "Well, I just wanted to show you everything that you're not supposed to do," because it was a wet ramp. He was speeding, he was sliding out and everything. So I just wanted to show you everything that you're not supposed to do. And, that old fella, as I say, he was in his 60s, but he died not so long ago. And I was heartbroken, even though I hadn't seen him for 20 years. But he just gave me a lot to think about when I was first training,
Yeah. Gee, that'd make you go, I don't ever want to do all of that because I don't want to feel like that again.
No. That's scary.
Your old bottom goes, what they call it, sucking clock. I think we better have another drink on this. Cheers, my friend. I am, might have to get the sack here because my first question I like to ask is, what is your favourite beverage? Because the podcast is called Beers with a Minor. So what is your favourite beverage and the best time you drink it? You like to drink it. It could be beer, wine, spirit, perhaps even a cup of tea. What is yours?
Tea?
You should have seen her face. Screwed up. I thought she was going to hit me. Duck.
I do have a cup of tea in the morning.
Yeah.
That's it. Green tea is supposed to be good for you. But no, it's scotch and soda and a dash of lime.
Scotch.
And it's always 5 o'clock somewhere.
I've heard that at least 3 times on this podcast, I reckon. My mum had a clock that was all 5s.
Oh, I had one too.
Did you? I need a new clock. Perhaps I should get one of those. Hint, hint, Christmas coming up. Oh, dear.
Yeah, no, it's always 5 o'clock somewhere. That's our excuse. So.
And where do you like to partake in your scotch and, was it soda?
Scotch and soda.
Soda and lime.
Yeah,
ice blocks?
Lime. Yeah,
Ice
lots
blocks.
of ice.
Do you renew the ice each glass or keep the ice?
Just keep adding.
Yeah.
Keep adding.
Yeah.
Yeah. The ice has to be full to the top.
Yep. Mm-hmm. What size sort of glass? I can hear it tinkling already.
10 ounce glass.
10 ounce?
10 ounce.
Is that big?
That's huge.
Is that a bucket?
Not quite a bucket, but by the time I finish the bottle at the end of the night, I should really have a bucket. No, it's not a complete full bucket that we drink every night, but yeah.
Yeah. And where do you like to have it?
We have it at home.
At home?
Yeah. Well, because we've got a property, we've got 4.5 acres here. We just sit out there of an evening and have a drink and just watch the skippies come in, and yeah, that's good.
For those overseas listeners, they're kangaroos.
Oh yeah.
Oh, they probably know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably one thing they do know about Australia. Oh, dear. Oh, we're at Rayls Place now as we speak. We've got the fan on in the background because it's a warm tropical North Queensland Sunday afternoon.
God's country.
God's country.
Mm.
Yeah, I was at work last week and there was a kangaroo jumping down the ramp and it was black. Oh. Well, actually, it was kind of brindle.
Yeah.
And it must have been dirty from the cold.
Yeah.
I've never seen one that colour ever. And it was our last shift. We'd parked up our trucks in the light vehicle I was driving. I only had to go around 3 corners back to the crew park. That's it. 7 days of, craziness over and done with. And this big kangaroo was trying to get us. Look, I don't need no incident now. We're going home. It's beer o'clock.
Well, you're lucky it wasn't an elephant or something.
Oh, it could have been an elephant, like what's on your letterbox. Oh, dear. Yeah, he was big and strange colour.
Yeah.
You see different things in the pit, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
Animals. What?
Camel.
A camel? In the pit?
A camel.
No shit.
And a fella hit it in the truck.
Big truck, I hope.
Yeah. Oh, a 777.
Did it do any...
Yeah, we had to get the loader to clean it up.
Oh, yuck.
Yeah, it was history.
Yeah. What about, did it damage the truck much?
No, not really. Not a great deal at all.
Shows how tough they are.
Yeah.
And that's only 777. They're only little truck.
Yeah.
Imagine seeing it. I was freaking out about seeing a kangaroo. I've seen a few snakes as well recently.
Oh, yeah.
I was in the water cart once and it was night shift and I'd had a bit of a nana nap and I woke up and thought, I better go, water something.
Yeah.
And as you do. This is years ago now. And I thought I saw the Grim Reaper run across the track in front of me. I across the Hall Road. I was like, geez, slap yourself around. We better wake up a bit here, woman. I wasn't interacting because when you're in the water cart, as you know, you're on your own a lot where you've got to go fill up. There was nothing around. And so I was like, get organised here, girl. Anyway, and I went in, watered the pit, come back to fill up, and there was a dead pig on the ground. So obviously that was my Grim Reaper. It was a pig. There actually was something run out in front of me, but I never even felt it. And I was in a loaded water cart. It was 777.
Yeah.
It didn't even go or anything. It was just straight over.
Well, they reckon if you run over a light vehicle, you can't even feel it.
Yeah, that'd be scary.
Yeah.
Have you ever had any or seen
I've seen
any?
it. I've seen it.
Yeah.
I've seen it. So, but I've never done anything like that myself. Thank God. Touch wood.
Touch everything. Yeah. I don't know about yourself, but I've always thought if anything crazy like that happened to me, I don't know that I could ever go back.
I don't think
if I'd done it.
No.
You don't think?
No.
I suppose you don't know till you put in that situation, and you hope you never are. Yeah. Even just having the little moment where you're like, oh, where did that light vehicle go?
Yeah,
just
exactly.
that.
Yeah.
Just that's enough of a horror
scare,
thought.
Yeah.
So let's talk about rosters. What rosters have you done over the years?
When I first started, it was 5.5 days a week. And then you did night shift as well, 5.5 days.
Yep.
You had the option of working the Friday night as well, or the Sunday. The Saturday, all day Saturday. That's right.
Yep.
I worked my first job there. It was 8 months straight I did before I took a day off. Like we had the Sunday off.
Oh,
but
a whole one day.
Yeah.
Was that a residential role? You were living at home?
It was a fly-in. You flew in. It was in the Great Sandy Desert. Yeah.
You didn't fly home every one day?
No. You were allowed to come out every, how many months was it? 3 months, I think you were allowed to come out and have 2 weeks off. But I decided to stay and just build up my holidays, and, it took 8 months. And then I come out and I did my first overseas trip to Bali.
Oh, cool.
I was wrapped.
Did you get your hair done on the beach?
Yes, I did.
You?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. And did you go shopping and buy heaps of cool hippie clothes?
Yeah.
Look at us both in our hippie clothes. We should get a photo just for the clothes.
Yeah.
We decided we don't need a photo of our faces today.
Just the clothes.
Just the clothes.
So, but I prefer the 7 and 7 roster. I do.
7 and 7 roster, yeah. I think that's my favourite.
Yeah.
Have you, because over in WA, with a lot of them are 2 and 1.
2 and 1.
Have you ever done that?
No.
And how do you go with fatigue management? Like night shift?
I used to love night shift. Night shift was my best. So I used to just stick the earplugs in, turn the aircon on, and I'd sleep. No problems.
No, you're right.
So, but I preferred it because it was a lot quieter at work at the night time.
Definitely.
No flies. The heat wasn't there. And as I say, I slept better during the day. I have a bit of a fear of the dark, so I used to sleep better during the day than the night.
Oh, really?
Mm.
Did you ever get scared in the dark out at work? There's yowies in some places.
On the water cart, yes, because of the dingoes.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that used to hang around the fill points.
And did you have to get out and go down and turn on the pump in the dark?
Yeah.
With the dingoes?
Yeah.
Oh.
And they've got some scary big dingoes, big black dingoes, and like I've seen them, they're all fighting there during the day, chasing a skippy, and, they can do some damage. Yeah.
I've been at that water fill point. We're talking about the same one. And now I'm really scared because I thought they were just big black pigs.
No, they're big.
I could hear them, though.
Yeah.
Snorting like pigs.
Yeah.
And I was absolutely crapping myself, and we had no lights on there. You just had the light of your truck. They said, no, you don't need one at the fill point anymore. Like, really? Okay. Got one light at my fill point, What do you mean no light at the fill point? And because you know how you have the lights on your truck that point down. They said that was enough. Oh, yeah, righto. And so I went in and I was filling up and I could hear all this Oh my God, there's pigs, and you had to turn the big tap, the big, like a steering wheel.
Yeah.
And bugger that. That's enough. There's enough water in there. I don't care where I'm going. So it takes a while to turn it off as well. How did it work? Yeah, I was still down there anyway, and I was waiting for some reason. And something jumped on me. I absolutely shit myself. No. But it was a green tree frog. And so I thought, I'm all right now. Yeah. I'm safe. Because the green tree frog was going to save me from the big pigs, you clown. And I hadn't even had a beer or anything, of course. I was at work. Oh, it's always, Then it jumped. I was walking up the stairs of the water cart and it jumped off me onto the handrail and stayed with me all night.
Oh, unreal.
Yeah, but now that you say that out there were black dingoes. Wow.
Yeah. One of the big ones was part German Shepherd or something. He was a mixed... Well,
that'd be scary. Like a domesticated.
Yeah, but he was huge.
Yeah.
Really big.
Oh, wow.
So, but that's wrong where they don't put a lighting plant there. I'd be too scared.
Yeah.
I'd need the lighting plant.
We always say, there's yowies out there. Gets a bit hairy. So, what about when you first started? What were some of the things that you found challenging? What was the hardest thing for you when you first started in mining?
Driving in wet weather.
Yeah?
Yeah. Yes. I remember going down this ramp. I'd been there for about 2 weeks and I thought I was the world's greatest truck driver after 2 weeks.
I nearly spat my beer all over the microphone. You can get pretty cocky pretty quick as soon as you start thinking like that shit's going down, right? I've learned that.
And it started sprinkling with rain and I went down this bloody ramp and, of course, the little 777 chucked a 360 because I panicked, threw on the brakes, threw on the retarder and everything. Did a 360 and it straightened up and it was a sheer drop off this ramp, Straightened up, got down to the bottom of the ramp and my knees, my hands, everything, my legs were all shaking. Got loaded by this digger, by the loader, come back up the ramp, went out to the tailings dam, tipped it, and there was this little Irish fella. He was out there and he had a temper, this fella. And I was already upset because of this 360. And I tipped in the wrong spot. Well, he's jumping
Was he on the dozer?
No, he was on the ground.
On the ground?
On the ground. And he's jumping up and down, waving his arms about, pointing his fingers, yelling and screaming. And that was enough.
Yeah.
So I drove straight to the crib hut. But back in those days, Liam, we didn't have two-ways in the trucks.
No, what?
No two-ways. Only in the machines, in the loaders and the dozers and all that. So someone must have told my boss, Rayls has done a 360 on the ramp,
Yeah.
And you better check her up. And anyway, I got to the crib up, still shaking like a leaf, got down, and then after this little Irish fella's little turnout that he did, that was it. I started bawling. And my boss walked up to me and he says, "What's the matter, Rayls?" I said, "I have enough. You can stick your trucks. I don't want to drive them no more." He said to me, "You get back in that truck." And he said, "If you don't, you'll never get back in it again."
Yeah.
So he made me get, and I'll always appreciate what he said for me, but I got back in that truck and, I was still shaking and still nervous and shit. That was the main thing. Thinking that I was a world-class truck driver after 2 weeks and stuffing up, that was my hardest thing. So that I really had to knuckle down then and bloody just think, you're just a normal barmaid, just come off the street, so behave yourself, woman.
So that's a good tip for other people too, that it takes time and there's so many different circumstances that come up and like you say, weather and where you are in the weather. Yeah. It's all right if it's raining and you're at the crib up.
Yeah, exactly.
But, when do you pull up? When don't you? When do you go down that bloody ramp? So times have changed because now if someone did a 360 on the ramp, that'd be uncontrolled movement, shut it down, go and have a drug test, incident report.
Yep. Well, like it took a few years, like maybe 15 years or something like that, but then I found a lot of my bosses would say, bosses that I had worked for them previously at other places, it would always come up to Rayls, Rayls, can you go and test that ramp? I'd have to be the first truckie out there.
You were the guinea pig.
Yeah, the guinea pig.
Because you were the most experienced.
Yeah, because I'd been through a lot of it, So
they know that you've done 360s down the ramp and how wet it has to be to make that happen. Oh, yeah, I don't like that either. I don't know what's worse if it's you going down the ramp going, oh, fuck,
or someone coming towards you.
Yeah, if you're loaded going up the ramp and you know that truck heading for you is out of control. There's nothing you can do.
Well,
I seen a truck once come sliding down sideways past me, and it was just from the water cart. And what had happened, it was the water cart come down, left a big dry line, but all night we've been going around this big old softy.
Yeah.
And so old mates come down the ramp, oh, softy, could have plenty of room to get around before me and the loaded truck was coming up, but hit the water in the middle of the ramp and was sideways. And all I saw was his tail lights disappear in my offside mirror down the ramp, and I called him up, and on the truck 41 or whatever it was, how you doing back there? And he goes, yeah, I'm good. How you doing?
Holy shit.
Oh, my God, but that was scary. Like, I thought he was going to hit me, but he didn't. Wow. He just went, woo, keep going. It was all good.
Yes, a lot of it is luck, eh?
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
And sometimes, sadly, it's unlucky and shit happens.
Yeah.
So do you miss it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I do miss it. So, because, there was a lot of fun. But, I mean, in the end, I went on to the drills, and I loved the drills.
So before we get onto the drills, what else did you get dozer?
No.
So truck, water cart,
grader.
So you did do grader?
Yeah, loader.
Loader,
but not so much in these last years. But when I first started, I was on loaders and everything. I remember being 7 months pregnant, and I was loading in the crusher at this job that I was in. And my boss was sitting down in the troopy there, old Smithy. He's sitting down there and calls me up on the two-way when I get up the top of the loader. Rayls, can you come back down here? I want to talk to you, please. I said, okay. Down, I fucking waddle off the stairs again.
7 months pregnant. Did you have your pants undone?
I actually had maternity jeans on.
Oh, cool.
And I got down to the bottom, went over and see him. I said, what's wrong? He said, Rayls, that's it. He said, you look ridiculous getting up that ladder. He said, you're in the office. So that was it.
And did you handle that all right? Were you offended by that, or did you go, oh, thank God, someone's made me stop?
I think I was a bit knackered then by 7 months,
Yeah.
Because I'd put on a lot of weight. So,
as you do when you're pregnant. Yeah. And it's a fair way up. It's a lot of stairs.
Yeah.
Or up a ladder. Back in those days, there weren't steps.
Yeah, there wasn't no steps. It was just those rungs on the side.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I had to get on a truck the other day, and the stairs wasn't, whatever. The stairs didn't work. They were buggered. Better. And I looked at the emergency one, and it was straight up and down, and these are in a big truck.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, fuck that, I'm not going up there. That looks too scary. I was scared of heights.
Yeah. So, how can you be scared of heights?
Oh, driving a truck. How can you be scared of spiders or something? I don't know. I just am.
I can be scared of spiders.
Are you scared of spiders?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I can be scared. We definitely need to.
Yeah.
I'll just pause it. Just remember to push go again. Now for a word from our sponsor. Welcome Julia Hartman and the Bantax Accounting Group to Team Mad Mumsy. Julia is my awesome accountant. She has written 2 books with financial expert Noel Whittaker and has a passion to help us miners make the most out of our hard-earned cash. Head to bantax.com.au/miners. That's BANTACS to download your free miners booklet and a spreadsheet that will help you calculate the weight of your tools you need for your job. Why, you ask? Well, you might be able to hitchhike a ride with them and claim your trips to work. Sounds confusing? Not at all. Just head over to bantax.com.au and let Julia and the team help you out. You will also find loads of free information and advice on property investing if you plan to really do some great things with your money. Again, that's bantax.com.au/miners and tell them Mad Mumsy sent you. Right, Good to go?
Good to go. Good to go.
We just had a quick beer break and ate some strawberries out of the garden, out of the SS Bobby G boat. A boat with veggies in it. How cool was that?
It's cool. It's very cool.
Yeah, that was good. And you started telling me a couple of stories. I'm like, oh, hang on. Let's go back. So, Rayls, have you ever seen people do weird things out at work?
Heaps and heaps.
Please share.
One day I was driving down a ramp, and I just happened to look over at the truck coming up the ramp, and I had to do a bit of a double take because the old mate was sitting in the passenger side of the truck and just steering it from the passenger side, like there was no one sitting in the driver's seat. And I thought, what the hell?
Oh, you must have long legs to be able to reach over and accelerate up the ramp.
Yeah.
Especially up the ramp, you really have to accelerate.
Yeah.
Oh, you see some stupid stuff.
I know.
I wonder what possessed him to do that. Oh, freak Rayls out, do you reckon?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
He was that sort of guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A weirdo.
Oh, yeah, you see all sorts. I know that I've backed in under a shovel. It was a little shovel.
Yeah.
And I looked up to see if I was in the right spot, and the operator was standing there stark naked. A bloke. Like, oh my God, what is it?
As long as he was loaded all right. Would have been all right.
Some people just couldn't be a bit precious. What else have you seen out there?
One of the funniest things I seen was I was driving down the ramp, got to a hairpin bend, and we'd had a lot of rain. Mm-hmm. And I looked over to the right, and there's a little dummy sort of a man sitting on a ledge with a fishing rod hanging over into the puddle. And in the puddle was like the shark fins made out of, you know, that black stuff that the builders use? Like not a fibro, it's like a black mixing board. But it really looked like there were sharks swimming around in the water, and someone had dressed up this dummy with his little esky and his hard hat on and a fishing rod. And
Lucky he had his hard hat on.
Yeah. Sitting on the edge. And that was geos. Geos do a lot of funny things.
Rock clickers.
Yeah, yeah.
Geologists, yeah.
I've seen them run around the camp with lit toilet paper up their bums. That was different.
That's different.
Yeah, very different.
Oh, wow.
I've seen a bloke driving up the ramp in a Christmas Santa outfit.
Oh, right. Yeah. So I assume it was Christmas.
Yeah, it was Christmas. Yeah. Just wanted to be happy.
Yeah, well, that I've always put tinsel all over me and look like an idiot if you got to work Christmas.
I had my truck done up once time in Hawks colours when they were in the grand final. Yeah. So I had balloons on and Hawks banners on and everything. And
Hawks being Hawthorn.
Hawthorn Hawks.
The AFL.
AFL, yeah.
My partner, the real miner, he's a mad, keen Hawkie supporter. Wait till I tell him you decorated your truck in Hawkies. He's like, well, of course you would. Oh, yeah, always wrap tinsel around the truck.
For Christmas,
Yep. And then you have to take a lot of tinsel because you're not going to be in. I remember once I had to take him to the workshop. I'm like, hi, guys, Merry Christmas. I've got some more. Do you want some? No, we'll be right, thanks.
They probably think, where do they get some of these people?
Yeah. I know one time I had been to a hippie festival up here, Winter Moon Music Festival.
Yep.
And my grandson had bought these light-up teeth.
Yeah.
And so it was night shift and put them in my mouth, and you go up to the dozer on the dump and look in and they were like vampire teeth, and like, you're flashing. There was a couple of us girls had them because they came out to Wintermoon.
Yeah.
Oh.
But it keeps people awake on night shift if you do things like that.
That's right, fatigue management.
Yeah, fatigue management, exactly.
You can go from being, oh my God, I'm going to die, but I'm going to fall asleep any minute. There's no way I'm going to last another 5 hours.
Yeah.
And then some little thing will happen on the two-way. Someone will say something stupid or just something will happen. And then before you know it, you're fine.
Yeah.
You know? And then some of the places I've worked at, they played trivia.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you could cool up and other place I was at, you'd send in a message with your answer, and only the person in dispatch saw the answer.
Yeah.
And he'd go, oh, bloody hippie, you clown, as if it'd be that. And so he, you know, and it was scrolling through really fast because he was getting heaps of information, and then they were saying he rigged it because, you know, who knows what everyone says. And, and of course we weren't allowed to text while we were driving.
No, that's
but everyone texted as soon as they finished the answer, no matter where you were. And it wasn't a phone text; it was in your truck on the computer set up. But like I say, you know, it helps you get through it. If you got to be there, you might as well have a bit of fun.
Yeah, exactly. But a lot of people nowadays don't want you having fun. You know, it's. I mean, it's good to be safe. It is good to be safe, but it does get a little bit boring out there sometimes. You know, and it's nice to be able to have fun with you. I mean, you spend a lot of time with people out there, so it's nice to have fun, eh?
And how did you handle the boredom in the truck? What did you do back in the day to amuse yourself?
A lot of reading.
Yep.
Yeah, there's always a lot of reading, crosswords.
What sort of?
I remember when I was in that Miss Australia quest, I'd be making up, decorations and all that for all my fundraising things that I'd be doing. So I used to make paper chains and write out little posters and signs for cake stalls and everything. It was always full on back then.
Oh, yeah. So you had shit to do.
Yeah.
Like me, I'm always planning and writing and so you just slipped the little when you were in the Miss Australia quest.
Yes.
Oh,
back in my younger days.
Oh, cool.
Miss WA Charity Queen 1988.
Oh, so you won?
Yes.
Oh, cheers to that. You rock. Did you get a lot of support from people out at work?
Yeah, my oath.
Yeah. They tend to get behind charities a lot.
Yeah. They actually gave me the use of a loader and a water cart, and I built a beach in the middle of the desert. And they actually donated the lining, you know, the pool lining?
Yeah.
For this great big beach that I built in the desert.
Yeah.
And we had a beach party in the desert.
Where did you? Oh, water came from the water cart.
Yeah.
So it obviously wasn't stinking horrible water that I use now.
No. So it was really, really good. Back then it was good. You know, like if people, like if I had hamburgers on a Friday night or something, if people wanted a hamburger and they gave me $50, I'd say, thank you. Where's my change? This is for charity. You don't need change, you know. And they go, okay, all right.
They're all bloody rich miners anyway, right?
It was $50 for a car wash, $50 for a burger. Yeah,
wow, that's awesome. So what made you do that?
A lady come up from Perth and was recruiting girls, you know, to see if they wanted to fundraise. And I think I told you before, my brother was deaf, so I used to do a lot of fundraising for him. And I said, yeah, I'll do that, no problems. And, yeah, that's what I ended up doing. And for 7 months fundraising up there, and we raised $66,500. So
wow.
It was good.
In 7 months?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
You go, girl.
Yeah.
Cheers.
You rock.
You're awesome. I knew you were awesome. I didn't even know that bit. And this coming from a stinking driller. We better get to the drill a bit. You're my first driller on the podcast.
Yeah.
So I remember hearing, because we were on different crews in the end, and I remember hearing that Rayls is driving a drill. I'm like, no, she's gone to the dark side. And there were no girls driving drills out there then?
No.
So
I was
how
the
did
first one on that site to drive a drill, being a female.
Did they ask you to do it, or were you just over trucking, or?
No, I just kept hounding them. I just wanted to improve myself a little bit more.
Yep.
So yeah, just kept hounding them, and at that time I was having a lot of trouble with my back. So I'd said I need something a little bit quieter.
Something that's still, not smashing up and down. Because I was going to say, did you ever ask about getting on the diggers and shovels? And
no, never wanted the diggers. I was always on a little digger, like a little Cat 330.
Oh right, yeah.
You know, in my younger days, and on excavators and all that, rock breakers on crushers, but I never wanted the bigger digger. So
you wanted the drill,
and
and
I got it.
Did they say, you've got 3 goes to get it right or you're out?
No, they didn't this time.
Times would have changed by then.
Yeah.
That would be what? Have to be 25 years later?
Nearly 30 years.
30 years since you started that you ended up in a drill.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah,
actually, just over 30 years now. Yeah, just over.
Big changes
definitely big
in
changes.
Training. And
they've got to give you a chance. And with drills, it's not just, you're going to learn it overnight. It's the sort of thing that you need to learn over a period of, say, 12 months. Well, what I thought anyway.
Mm.
And like I may have been doing it for the last 7 years or whatever out there, but
were you 7 years on the drill?
Yeah, but you will always learn something new every day. The ground is not the same. It's just each hole is different, and you just learn to feel it, what your dirt feels like when you're drilling, and
so you can feel dirt like in a loader and on a grader. You can even in a truck. I guess you can. So you can feel the dirt in a drill. I never would have thought that.
Yeah.
I've been in one. They look pretty cool. You get your own kettle and shit. I could move in here.
Kettle, toaster. What do I have? Sandwich maker.
Sandwich maker?
Yeah, we had everything.
Oh. High maintenance, though. Can't be on the water car. Can we have some water? No, piss off. I'm trying to keep my circuit down here.
Just get over here.
You'll have no circuit if we don't drill.
Yeah, that's right.
I've worked in places nowadays, and a lot of the drilling and shot firing and that, they have their own water car.
Yeah. Well, that's what happened in the end.
Yeah, that's what they're doing now.
So.
Yeah, that works out better, and it's smaller. I remember, the first
places.
And now you go in on the water cart and the drill's over there. I'm like, I beg your pardon, how am I meant to get there? Oh, you'll be right. You should be able to straddle those holes.
No. If they don't straddle the holes, you just tell them it's a carton of beer for every hole that they run over. So,
you tell the water cart operator that.
Yeah, shit you.
I was going to tell the driller that. You owe a carton of beer for every hole I run over for making me come in here.
No, you make the water cart driver pay up.
I know there's been times when they were loading a shot as well, and they wanted me to water the pattern because it was. You'd look at them and go, "What the fuck? Why would you do that job? It's so hot, and they're out there and they're doing whatever they do, filling up the holes." And I know one time I made one of them get in with me. I said, "You get in here with me," because there were bomb trucks in there and everything. I'm like, no, you come and direct me because there's a shitload of holes here and I'm not sure. And they said, no, you should fit.
Yeah, you got to sign.
But don't run over any of the holes we've loaded. No, someone in here, please.
You got to sign when you go in there now and everything, don't you?
True. No, I haven't been in for years now. Yeah. I didn't have to sign anything. Yeah. Just had to call up on their secret bat channel.
Yeah, well, I know whenever I had to go in there, I used to have to sign, not just in the water cart, if I had to walk in there. Yeah, ended up having to sign to go into a loaded area.
Yeah, righto. In case you blew up, they knew who you were.
Yeah.
Oh. I just shared on the Facebook page for Mad Mumsy a whole heap of shots.
Oh, true.
Yeah. Blast going off.
Yeah.
Like, you never get sick of watching them.
No.
Someone else shared it, so I shared it on there.
We had some pearlers over in the west, years ago.
Would they be really red when they blow?
Yeah. Beautiful.
So, did you ever want to progress into the shot firing side of things?
Nope.
Why not? You seem quite adamant about that.
Nope. Didn't want nothing to do with the bomb part of it. I just wanted to make sure that my hole stood up. That was it. The hole's in the ground, Leanne.
I'll just have another drink. Of course.
It's a really good feeling if you can get those holes to stand up for the bomb squad, because there's nothing worse when they go and drop their powder and shit down there that it gets stuck halfway or something because the hole's caved in,
Yeah.
And then you get fractured ground when you blow up and it's just...
And that's when it ends up really big rocks that smash us in a truck. And you go, they need to use more shit when they blow this up.
Yeah, exactly.
Because sometimes it ends up like rice bubbles and other times it's like wheat bix, as they say.
Yeah.
I don't like wheat
Well,
bix.
it depends on the drillers, as long as if you use the right amount of water to make your hole stand up. And
Oh, so you're trying to say water does matter.
yeah.
Yeah, righto.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry.
I thought it's just so you could wash your kettle or something.
No. Damn it.
Yeah, that's sweet.
Fill my kettle up.
Oh. Oh, wow. So if you went back now, would you go back as a truckie or a driller?
I'd probably have to go back as a truckie. Yeah, I think I'd more or less, because I've been out for 3 years now, I think I'd have to go back and start again. And that wouldn't worry me.
Yeah.
It'd be like learning all over again.
Mm.
So, but I do want to go back into the industry, but my daughter's having a baby.
Oh, so are you going to be granny or nana?
I'm going to be grandma.
Grandma?
Grandma.
Grandma.
Yeah, grandma.
First one?
Yeah.
I can tell.
First real one.
First real one?
Yeah.
What, the other one's
Colin's got, he's got 4 kids on his side.
Yep.
And they've got, between them, they've got 4 kids as well.
Oh, right.
But this is my only daughter's child.
Yeah. So very special.
She's due in December.
Yeah.
So...
Christmas baby.
Yes.
My grandson was born on Christmas Day.
So was my nana, and so was Colin's Uncle Rick.
Really? It's more common than you think. Yeah.
So was Jesus.
Oh, yeah. You clown. You're the rabbit. I'm going out to night shift next week, and it's my birthday.
Oh, is it?
Night shift. Oh, yeah, got to love that when you work. And it's another guy on my crew's birthday as well.
Yeah.
I don't know how we figured that out, but different year. He's a lot younger.
Yeah.
And he said, oh, you got to bring cake. Bring one for me as well. Well, thank you. Why? Because I'm the woman. What do you think? I'm going to make a cake? So I'm going to call into Woolies on the way out on Wednesday and grab a couple of cakes. I said, you bring something too, because I'm not very reliable.
Yeah. Tell him to bring the candles.
Oh, we don't need candles.
How many is there going to be?
52. Yeah. Yeah, so that'll be the bomb squad. Copy the shot, fire. Oh, dear. So
happy birthday.
Oh, thank you.
Next week.
Thanks. I'm having a late one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and an early one.
Yeah.
And then one at work.
Holy dooly.
My dad is going to ring me. Well, I said, look, just send me a text because on night shift, pretty only much get an hour.
Yeah.
Come home after my first night, I'll be so tired, so I'll sleep. And then, so that's the morning of my birthday, and that's when Dad said he's ringing.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, okay, which is great. And then in the afternoon, because I don't take my phone out to work, and I get the bus from the mess, so it's really only an hour from depending how long I sleep, but from when I wake up, get ready, leave my room, then I go and have tea, then I get on the bus, then I go to work. So I've just caught up with most people this week and said, just shoot me a text, that'll be all right. And then on next break, we'll have a couple of drinks and some.
Yeah, I'll have to catch up with you down there and we'll have a couple of drinks.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah, my oath.
So let's move on. I was wondering if you've got any tips for women that are working or thinking about working in male-dominated industries like we do. What advice do you have? What have you seen women do that perhaps they didn't know? Like, I don't know. See where
I used to really get annoyed with women wearing makeup to work.
Yeah,
you are in a male-dominated industry, You can still be a girly girl.
Yeah.
But you're working with the boys, You've got to be at least a little bit one of the boys, You can't do this girly thing all the time out there. I mean, you know what it's like. It's hard. It's not easy.
Yeah. It's hard to keep your freaking eyeliner on outside of work.
But, back in the early days, girls used to wear the same coloured sunglasses, the same coloured socks, the same coloured lipstick. And I'd be watching them and they'd be in the truck. I've never been a makeup person,
Yeah.
Putting their bloody lipstick on.
In their
and
truck.
it had to match their socks and, had to match their bloody fingernail paint and... I mean, it has changed a lot now. But,
yeah. Yeah.
But you've got to be prepared to be one of the boys. That's what I say. Still be yourself as a girl, you know, and have all your morals and everything. But you're working in an industry where men say, fuck this, fuck that, you know, and you've got to be prepared to put up with that. Because it really is their industry. That's how it all started. You know?
That's right. And it's becoming our industry
it
as
is.
well.
It is.
But it's an industry, that's why my podcast is explicit at the start. You said, and I'm not allowed to swear. I'm like, fucking know. This is how we roll, you know. I had a guy listening to my podcast on night shift. I had some on a USB, and because I listen to try and improve. Yeah. And we were talking about it, and I said, here you go. And he said, that was really good. He goes, it was pretty weird driving around and hearing you, you know, swearing through the stereo. And I'm like, really? Do I do that? But it's all right, me swearing at the cribber.
Yeah.
You know, and you do have to try and balance it out. I always try and not swear when I was around my nana. She's passed away now, you know. And it's like everything. Yeah. You know, my kids, like, they knew not to swear as they got older and who they weren't allowed to swear in front of, and they grew up hearing it their whole life, but they were pretty good, as far as I know, of not swearing, and now they swear more than me, half of them. But you got to have a bit of respect as well. Yeah.
I noticed the one thing when you come home from work, say when we were doing the lifestyle roster, the first couple of days, it's always swear about everything. And Colin would always say to me, keep your language down. I said, I can't help it. You know what it's like the first couple of days.
That's your hubby.
Yeah. And then I'd go back to being normal. We'd go back to... But you just get so used to being around the boys and hearing them carry on like pork chops. And, you do it yourself. So.
You know what I like, and it doesn't happen that often, I guess, but a guy will slip out the F-bomb and catch himself because you're there.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, you know. Yeah. And I used to say, don't fucking swear in front of me, you know. Talk about, and then I mentioned that to Mum, years ago now, and she said, Leanne, you shouldn't say that because they've shown you respect. They're respecting you, and you just shot them right down. And so now I just say, thanks for noticing, but it's all good.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know what I say, but I don't make a big deal about it, and I'm sure that I shot some of the blokes as well, and I have to catch myself. I think because I've got my youngest daughter living with me, and she swears a fair bit, and then there's out at work and she swears, and you know, and I do my podcast and you're allowed to swear, and but I don't swear to, you know, the owner of the pub or the podcast producing lady that I just met. Jesus, shit, I hope I never swore at her anyway. I don't think so. But it's a big point of what I'm saying in the podcast is that if you want to come into this industry as, forget whether you're a woman or a boy, you know, a girl or a boy, it's a huge part of it. That's you better get used to it. Yeah. You're not allowed to swear over the two-way anymore.
No, that's right.
People do every now and again, but it gets picked up because they record it, and someone will come on and say, you know, or something. But back in the day, I remember when I was a greenie and I was learning, and that's only, 13, 14 years ago, and I was in the wrong spot in the shovel, and the shoveler, he'd yell, "Get your fucking ass around over the two-way." And I'm like, which way? I didn't know. Around that way or around that way? So I'd just cry in my truck. But, you know, my listeners know you know all about that because I talk about that a lot. But you just can't get away with that anymore, which is a good change, I think. But it still happens at the cribber.
I was on a site once where I was driving this water cart and we were building this dam, and the water cart had no baffles. The baffles were all buggered in it, and you know what the baffles are in a water cart. They're to keep the water central and everything like that.
To stop it flopping, which makes it tip over, which I saw one tip over once because the baffle was buggered.
So I was in this water cart and I was going up this little V drain, and she started to arc up, you know. Anyway, in the end...
Arc up, do you mean the front lifted up?
Yeah, the front lifted up. in the end, I had a grader pulling the truck back down because it was back up on 2 wheels at the back of it. The grader pulling me down with a sling and a little excavator holding the back of the truck.
Oh,
so it wouldn't tip over.
Bucket.
Yeah, with the bucket. So
and you're still in it.
Yeah. So I gets on the 2-way and I says to our mate, the boss, I says, if you don't fix these fucking baffles in this truck, I'm not driving this again. He said, okay. Rayls, when you get that truck back on its wheels, I want to talk to you. I said, okay. So I got the truck back on the wheels, got back down and went and seen him, and I said, what's the matter? He said, I don't mind you saying that you're never going to drive that truck again. No, he said, no, that's right. I don't mind you swearing, but don't ever say that you're never going to drive that truck again because if you say that, no one else will drive it.
So he didn't care that
about the
Did
swearing.
you think you were going to get in trouble
yeah,
for
that's
swearing?
what I thought. I thought I was in deep shit. But it was just because I said I wasn't going to drive it.
Because that means everyone else isn't, and then if there's not a spare water card and we can't work without a water card.
Yeah. So back in those days, the swearing was quite acceptable, but not now. No way.
Times do change a lot, don't they?
Mm.
Okay, so that's what we were talking about was tips for women.
Yep.
Anything else you wanted to say about women?
Be tough. Be tough. Not talkative, but tough.
Just harden it
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, harden
Take a cup of cement. That's what I've had to do. Because then I won't go into me because I talk about it a lot, but very emotional, crying all the time and things, and I had to dig deep a lot, you know, nearly left a few times, and sometimes you just need to bawl your eyes out in your truck because no one's there.
Yeah, exactly.
But at least if you go in with open eyes and know what it's like, and you might listen to this story, this conversation with Rayls and decide, ooh, bugger that, I'm not going into the mines because I couldn't hack it. But then you don't know. If I'd have known as much as I know now, I probably never would have done it. Yeah. But it's made me who I am today.
Exactly. Yeah.
And it's the people that you meet that help you along the way, and it's who you become. So it does, even if you are precious now, you know, it might be just your life's journey.
Yeah. But a lot of women... That
sounded good, didn't it? Did you like that?
I did. Yeah, it was very serious.
Yes.
But it's not for a lot of women, mining.
It's not for everyone, is it?
No, it's not. Actually, it's not for a lot of men too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I spoke about in last episode. Yeah. Why 5 greenies quit, that I know.
Yeah.
Greenies, not like, you know, want to save the world greenies. Yeah. Cleaning.
It's probably a lot easier for women nowadays because of a lot more safety precautions are being taken and you're not allowed to run around like a bloody mad rabbit, you know, like we used to years ago.
And discrimination and all of those laws have changed.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of the times the laws were there, but no one did anything about it. Yeah. So you've got a bit more behind you. And there's more of us out there too.
There is. Yeah, there is. But personally, at our age, I think the hours are too much for us nowadays.
I liked my little semi-retirement crib stagger roll. I know, 8 till 5, 5 on, 5 off. That was awesome. Why did I go back?
I know. I did a mummy crew once, and I got paid heaps of money to do that ages ago.
Yeah, I didn't get that much money, but I got a lot of time, which helped me. My podcast never would have got off the ground if I was doing the hours I'm doing now.
Yeah, that's right.
I've become a little bit irregular with my podcasts. Well, I've realised when I'm on night shift, I just haven't got time. No. You know, and like you say, I've got a job to do. Yeah. I do a 13-hour shift, and I've got to stay on the ball.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm sorry if you're only getting 3 episodes a month. To all my thousands of fans out there. No one's emailed and said, where the hell's this week's podcast?
What's going on? You're taking a holiday.
It gets out there and they, you know, eventually. The other one is any tips for people, boy or girl, again, that are brand new, because there's a lot of greenies being hired at the moment. Yeah. A lot of clean skins, newbies, and Have you got any tips for them, especially as a trainer? What?
Listen to what the people tell you and really listen. Always make sure when you're driving you are looking ahead of you, not just in front of you. You've always got to be aware of what's going to happen ahead of you. Same thing on the road, when you're driving a car. You're not just looking right in front of you. You've got to look at those stoplights that are down the road down there and know what's going to happen. Oh, yeah, okay, I'm 2 minutes from there. They're going to turn green shortly. You've got to know what's happening ahead of you. That's one of my biggest tips. So,
I was thinking about that during the week when I was out at work, and that's something I wish someone had told me when I was going up to the cranky dozer driver's dump. Yeah. Have a look where the other trucks are going.
Exactly, yeah.
No one ever told me that.
No.
I was like you say, looking in front, there's the dump. Oh, where are we?
Yeah.
Whereas now I look and I think, right, you can see where the truck is, and you can hear if they're getting in trouble because they're in the wrong spot. Oh, don't go where that clown went. But you don't even know where the clown is because you didn't look.
That's right.
So, again, planning ahead and seeing if the light vehicle's in front of you, are they going to go into the high-risk zone or the whatever they call it wherever you're working? So you might want to wait out. Yeah. Stuff like that. Yeah.
That's one of the biggest things, I reckon, to always know what's going to happen up ahead, not just in front of you. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks, Rayls. Last question. Yes. What do you do with your old PPE? Oh, my God, she's crying. Oh, Rayls, you might need a scotch instead of your beer.
You're not going to believe it, Leanne, but I just threw out my last pair of boots from 3 years ago because it's a bit of a funny story. I sent my husband out to work there a couple of weeks ago. And
because he's still working in the mines?
He's in the mines, yes, and I packed his bag, and he does 7 on, 7 off. Packed his bag for him and put him on his merry little way, and next day he rings me and says, Rail, you have packed your boots in to my suitcase, and you are a size 7 and I am a size 9.
Oh, my God.
And they're very tight on my feet. I says, oh, well, you'll have to wait because, it's 2.5 hour drive out there. I was very busy. So
you had strawberries to water and stuff.
Yeah, I've got shitloads to do on the farm here. So I got a courier and I sent them out, but in those 2 days where Colin wore my boots, he stuffed them up.
With his big hoofers rammed in there. How do you even get them in there?
Very hard.
Did he get blisters?
Yes, his feet were so sore.
Oh, that's... you bitch.
Well,
that's an honest mistake.
He can pack his own bloody boots from now on. Stuff it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I'm surprised you were doing the right thing.
I know, I was. Now I'm got no boots. I'll have to go back to work just to get a pair of bloody boots.
You can buy them.
I know. I had to buy Colin a pair the other day.
I had to buy some too. I used my last pair.
Yeah. Whatever happened to the good old days where you could just go to the store and say, oh, yep, I'll have that pair of boots, thanks.
Yeah.
Just doesn't happen anymore, does it?
Well, we're now, I'm labour hire, contractor, so no issues.
Nothing.
Well, it depends who you work for.
Yeah.
And, I don't get any boots. So I bought some. My accountant loves it.
Yeah.
God bless Julia.
Yeah, well, that's what I said to Colin, make sure we keep that bloody receipt.
Yeah, because that's a good one.
Yeah.
And I bought some that were on special and they were $100.
Yeah, well, Colin got his for 110. So,
yeah, they're those purple ones.
Oh,
for breast cancer.
They go with your shirt that you've got on now.
Oh, they do. See, I do like to colour code my socks and my lipstick.
Oh. No, you haven't.
Not even.
You haven't got the same coloured sunglasses on. Sorry.
No, fail. I bought some $3 thongs from Kmart yesterday that are blue, but do you know what? They're $2 now.
You got ripped off.
Oh, I did. So I bought 2 pairs. I bought an orange pair and a blue pair. I had to buy, I've got thousands of thongs, and they just get so thin. You can feel every rock under. And I said to the real mine and my partner, I said, I'm going to have to buy some new thongs. I was at the shops. I said, I can feel everything under it. I'm like, oh, shit, look, they've got even cheaper. And I said, it might be another layer less at $2.
Oh, shit.
Oh, my God. It's
You're earning the big bucks now. You can buy some upmarket ones.
But I've got to buy a new video software. See, I'll spend my money on software and stuff, not clothes. But I've had this conversation with my accountant when I interviewed her. Yeah. She said, that's all right. It's good that you're spending your money on software and everything. I said, yeah, I know, but I need some clothes and I need some bloody shoes. And my daughter's dog ate my best thongs, my going out thongs. No. I know. I was devastated.
Were they more than $2?
Yeah, they're about $12.
Oh, no.
Then some people, I think Kirsty, who I interviewed, she loves her shoes. Yeah. She's a shoe girl. She was horrified when we had this conversation. So I probably shouldn't go on because my listeners heard it before. I'll just have a quick look on my list, make sure I haven't missed anything out. In closing, when life turns to shit for you, what do you do to get through it? What's Rayls' happy place? This is a big question that I ask all to start thinking about to help with mental health and suicide prevention and all that. If we all have a bit of an idea of what do we do that makes us happy and how freaking often are we doing it? Yeah.
Well, what makes me happy, I suppose, is I like to go and play a game of Keno.
Okay, you like Keno? Pick your numbers.
Yeah, pick your numbers and hope I have a win, but it doesn't happen all the time. Oh, that's about all. Yeah, I just like to go and have a punt. Yeah, that's about it. Yeah. Or failing that, go and jump in the pool, have a scotch. Yeah, go and spend some time with me mum. What else? Because Colin's always at bloody work.
Shit always happens when the partner's away, doesn't it?
Yep. Mm. There was a time where I couldn't handle stress and everything, but now I can. Yeah.
So how did you get from not being able to handle it to being able to handle it, do you think?
I went on medication.
Well, that's what it's for.
Yeah.
That's what it's for. And there's a lot of people, and I've done a few interviews like with Brendan from Are You OK? And he said doctors are now taught about helping people through things like that. And there are
Yeah.
That sounds like some ice going in some scotch.
I think Colin might be making a rum.
A rum?
A rum.
Oh,
he's a rumbo
nice.
man.
So there are drugs out there to help just balance everything out. Yeah. And I know a few people who have done that and they are fine. Yeah. And if that's what it takes and if that's what you're struggling with perhaps, go and see the bloody doctor.
Exactly.
And that's what I say as well. It's a big message from Mad Mumsy. Go to the bloody doctor when something's not right. Yeah. It might not be physical, like, your foot's blown up because you got gout or something. Yeah. It might be in your head. Yeah. If shit don't feel right, go and have a chat to someone.
Well, I've been on depression tablets for years now, and I notice if I forget to take them. Yep. It does. I do start to feel a little bit blue, and but if I take them, I'm fine. So.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for sharing with us today, Rayls. I knew it'd be great.
Thanks for coming out to our little farm.
Oh, that's cool. Cheers.
Cheers. I'm empty.
Oh, bloody, you go get a drink and I'll just do my outro.
All right.
Thank you. That was awesome.
Thank you.
See, I told you it wouldn't be scary.
No.
I will in a sec, thanks. Thanks so much for listening. I really do appreciate you. The show notes for this episode can be found at madmumsy.com/beers27. That's madmumzie.com/beers and the number 27. If you haven't already, I would love you to please head to your favourite podcast app and leave a rating and review. Whilst you're there, you can subscribe and you'll never miss an episode. Or head to the website and you can listen there too, madmumsy.com/beers. And please share with your mates. Until next week, or fortnight if I'm on night shift, stay safe, be real, be special, and have fun, for we only live once. Cheers. Now I'll have the other beer, Rayls.